folks, Red 5 is standing by to shoot the proton torpedoes into the Death Star's porthole and blow it up and save Yavin and the Rebellion. Yes, Set 4 granted us a new Luke Skywalker leader in Aggression Heroic. Our first Luke Skywalker leader from the starter deck from Set 1 is Vigilance Heroic. But to combine with this power of this Luke Skywalker, we got the ECL, the best card to combine with great red heroic cards. But anyways, let's talk about Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker is one of the piloting leaders from Set 4. Action, you can tap him if you attacked with a fighter, and you'll see this deck is just on fighters this phase, deal 1 damage to a unit. Then, if you've never seen one of these leaders before, you can do 2 things. You can either deploy him as a 5/6 ground unit, and he does nothing special. He's just a 5/6 vanilla. Or you can deploy him onto a vehicle, any vehicle, a ground vehicle, a space vehicle. As long as it has vehicles as a keyword, you can attach Luke Skywalker to it. And then you get basically as a pilot. And then he becomes a upgrade of 4/5. So he gets +4 power, +5 defense to the object. And then on his awakened side, he can't be removed by skills. So him as an upgrade can't just be removed by skills. Now, if your opponent happens to have some way like dorsal turret, or ways to kill off the unit itself and not the upgrade, he doesn't protect the unit. He protects himself as an upgrade. So the unit could still die by means of like unique game mechanics, like dorsal turret from this set if you were playing Sealed, because this guy is a really good leader in Sealed. But yes. And then on his awakened side, when he's attached to a fighter as a pilot, you can deal 4 damage on attack. Just straight 4 damage. Or just pop that 4 damage wherever you need to. So, to combine with him, the best card to combine with, like, Sabine, because practically he's Sabine, he just comes out for 6 cost, where Sabine comes out for a 4 cost. But anyways, Energy Conversion Lever, ECL, Epic Action, a play a unit that costs 6 or less for your hand and give it ambush. You still have to pay the 6 power to do that. But anyways, we're going to have a lot of good cards. Typically, you bring out Poe, or you bring out Wrecker, or sometimes K2SO off of this. But this is a one-time epic action use. Anyways, let's get to the ground units. We have triple Luke Skywalker, piloting for 3 command and heroic. And then if this upgrade would be defeated, whether by like the unit dying or anything like that, you may, or like abilities to do it all well, you may instead move him to the ground unit ground as a unit and then exhaust him. So he's a 3/2 attached to a fighter or attached to a vehicle, and then a 3/2 that comes out for a unit. So really nice. Triple Sabine Wren. Again, as long as you have 3 or more, we're not going to be able to do the top part of 3 or more aspects. We won't be able to achieve that. We're only running green and red here. On attack, you deal 1 damage to the defender or to a base. We got Biggs Dark Light, Luke's friend that dies in the trench run, telling Luke that he can't keep up with the speed. Anyways, he pilots for 1, a red, and a heroic, and then attached unit based on what he attaches to. If it's a fighter, it gains Overwhelm, which we have a lot of fighters in this because of Luke. If he attaches to a transport, he gets +0/+1. If he attaches to a speeder, he gains Grit. I think the only speeders right now is the Stow Speeder. But anyways, after that, because we are red heroic, we gotta play the Cassian Andor Smuggler. He smuggles for 5, and then when played using Smuggle, he just readies himself. We're doing 2 Huyang to when played, choose another friendly unit. While this unit is played, that shows he gets +2/+2. A really good target would be our Mr. Luke Skywalker, so we could just buff him to Kingdom Come. We're doing double Aayla Secura. Because we're going to have so many fighters, we're going to have this coordinate. Remember, coordinate, you need 3 units on the board, including herself. And then on attack, you just prevent all the combat damage. So you shouldn't just go into everything on the ground and slaughter it, as long as you have 3 or more guys on the board, including herself. We got double Chewbacca. As a unit, he can't be defeated or returned to the hand by enemy card effects. And piloting for 3, attached unit gains. This unit can't be defeated or returned to the hand by enemy card effects. So yeah, really nice. Double Poe Dameron. On attack, discard up to 3 cards in your hand. For each card discarded this way, choose a different option. Deal 2 damage to an enemy unit or base. defeat an upgrade, and opponent discards a card from their hand. They're a really good target for the ECL, alongside, of course, K2SO, because we get ambush. One Gorilla Paw, because again, if played and 15 or more damage is all, base has 15 or more damage, it does come in as ready, and it does have a 4/6 on it with grit. It's also another unit you could ambush in. And then we finally card for our ground unit is Wrecker. Probably the card we will ECL out the most. He has Overwhelm, and when played, you may defeat a friendly resource. If you do, deal 5 damage to a ground unit. So just kill something. So this is the best card to come out because he gets Overwhelmed. So you can Overwhelm with something small, deal the Overwhelm damage, and then when played, you just kill a resource and then go ham on something else. So yeah. For our space units, we're running majority fighters because again, Luke needs to attach to a fighter to get his ability. We have 2 Black 1. While his unit upgraded, he gets a +1/+0 on attack if you control Pro Dameron. As a unit, upgrade, or leader, you may deal 1 damage to a unit. The only Poe Dameron we have is the 6-drop Poe Dameron. This is really good if you're running the leader Poe Dameron. You'll get that ability a lot more. Triple Green Squadron A-Wing to get that raid 2. Triple Blue Leader. He has the ambush, and when played, you may pay 2. If you do, move this unit to the ground, arena, and give it 2 experience tokens. It's a ground unit at that point, which is another fighter that's really good to probably attach to Luke because at that point he's on the ground. So if your opponent's not playing a heavy ground package, Luke can just go ham in the ground area by swinging and then doing his abilities. 2 Disabling Fang Fighters. Upgrades are still very prevalent in this game. Darksaber, all of the bounties. So we do kind of want to make sure we're not getting hit with those upgrades. So when played, you may defeat an upgrade. That does include like Luke Skywalker here. So we can actually defeat our own Luke Skywalker, the Disabling Fang Fire. Say we swing with the unit and the unit is going to die, or we need to just get this Luke Alpha here so we can go Disabling Fang Fighter, kill off the Luke, and when he's defeated, he just gets to play himself as a unit. It doesn't state who defeats it. We just say defeat it. Double Red 5, Luke Skywalker's personal X-Wing, when he went for the trench run. On attack, you may deal 2 damage to a damaged unit. This is really good to combine with Luke because Luke deals the 4, so you can first do Luke's attack damage, and then you could do Red 5's attack damage. And then we have Triple Red 3. Again, he gets raided because we have a lot of Heroic in here. Everything gets a nice raid 1. Double Wing Leader to give out those 2 experience tokens when played. And Double Bright Hope, which will probably be attaching a little bit with Biggs, so that Biggs can pump this up just a little bit more so it's even more tanky. Again, on play, if we return a friendly non-leader ground unit to their hand, you may do draw a card, which again, that means we can return the Luke Skywalker back to our hand after attack and then reattach it to a vehicle, which is pretty neat. Finally, for our event, Double Daring Raid, just to deal 2 damage to a unit or base. Double Kogarian Turn. So this is the new card from set 4. Ready a fighter or transport unit which costs 6 or less. I saw someone playing Bravado, but I'm not too impressed with Bravado. I think Kogarian Turn's a lot better because we could just target Kogarian Turn on Luke Skywalker because, again, Luke Skywalker's piloting, say, Red 5, Red 3, Wing Leader, probably not Wing Leader, that's a really bad idea, or even Black 1 or a Blue Leader. So the ability of that, because it's always going to target the original cost of the fighter, all our fighters can reactivate again, and because Luke's not a once per turn ability, or basically once per that entire phase, he can just simply just do his whole effect again, which means if he's attached to Red 5, we can do it all over again. Yeah, so I like this one a little over Bravado because I just think this one's a little better than Bravado. Bravado is on a 5 and requires you to have killed something that turn to reduce its cost. This is just straight 3. Double Open Fire because it's just a really good 4 damage kill card. And then finally, 3 U-Wing Reinforcements just so we can bring out the rest of our deck on the battlefield. So, a lot of people are questioning if Sabine or Luke will become the new aggro heroic leader. I still think Sabine's a little better because Sabine has the ability to attach the Darksaber to herself and can do all that. And I don't know. We're going to have to see. So let's go to Carbas and see how well Luke does. All right, players. Here we are. We're going to do Major Vonreg ECL. So Major Vonreg is similar to Luke at being a red, but he's red villainy where we are red heroic. This is not a Mulligan eating hand. I think that is perfectly fine. We'll do a ringleader and a... I think we'll do Sabine. Because we have literally bigs to go on black 1, which actually is really nice there. We're done. But yes, so Major Vonreg is action, play a vehicle unit from your hand, paying its cost, and if you do, give it +1/+0. Give another unit +1/+0 this phase. He is from the First Order. He's the TIE Interceptor pilot for the First Order. And then, much like everything else, he will deploy at 4 as either a leader at 2/5 or as an upgrade to a vehicle as a 3/3. So he's going to put out a 𝐒𝐍𝐄 Patrols TIE Fighter, which 𝐒𝐍𝐄 Patrols First Order TIE Fighter, which would then create a TIE Fighter token. We're just going to put out black 1 here. He will have the ability to choose what he wants to do, which I honestly say he will probably just take the initiative here. Because it is 2. But anyways, he spawned 2 TIE Fighters basically on us. So, another really unique leader I think I really want to try out is him. We're just going to pass. There's just really no point to do anything else. We'll put an A-Wing away. He's another one of those leaders I do really want to try out because I think he's so unique. He literally comes out extremely quickly with only needing to go at 4. But again, he's not really all that strong at a 3/3 and a 2/5. So he's not like overpowered when he drops into the arena. But still, I mean, there's his personal TIE Fighter. So while this unit has 4 or more power, it gains Overwhelm. And then while this has 6 or more power, it gains Raid 1. So it will gain that power because it's going to get it off of this. So to ensure that this doesn't exist anymore, we're just going to nuke that thing off the board. Because his Interceptor is basically going to get buffed up by him as well. So we're going to swing black leader there. We're going to kill off the TIE Fighter. I mean, 1 damage is not really going to be impactful to black 1 here. Then Luke to knock out the 𝐒𝐍𝐄, and then we will pass. Well, you know, Cassian Andors can always get put in. In my opinion, even though you could play Cassian Andor for 3 and, you know, do all that, I feel like the Smuggle is just far more valuable to me for the Cassians. Kind of matters what we want to do now. I mean, heck, the A-Wing is a fighter, by the way, so that means Luke does get his ability. And I don't know if I said it in the preview or anything like that, as we have a really good new red kill card in Piercing Shot. You just defeat all the shields, and then you just deal straight 3 damage, which is really good. So you just get rid of the shields altogether. So I don't know if I actually said it in his profile, but I think I said he deals 4 damage on it. On his awakened side when he's attached to a fighter. No, he deals 3 damage. So I think here, just because Luke is still 2 turns out, I think I'm just going to put out Cassian. Again, he's going to want to attach Vonreg as a vehicle onto a vehicle for 3/3. Oh, he's just going to go do that. Okay. We'll claim. I mean, nothing else we can really do. I'm surprised he actually did the Vonreg as a... he did do 2 damage there. I'm actually kind of surprised he did Vonreg as a... Now, we can kill Vonreg here because we'll go blue leader, pay 2 more resources, trigger the ability, and then we trigger the ambush because we do get to sequence it the way we want to sequence it. In this case, we sequence the paying extra 2 to put him as a ground unit, and then we get 2 experience tokens. So a prototype TIE Advanced, we'll swing... we did swing with this. We did swing with a fighter, so we do get Luke here. So Luke's probably going to go on blue leader, just because at that point, yes, we did take 2 damage on blue leader, but again, we have 5 health on Luke. That bomber is actually going to be annoying. We'll deal damage to the bomber. That way, we can pass it. But anyways, the TIE bomber is deals with the new archetypal way to deal damage now, which is indirect. What else we got? The bigs can go. I'm done. But anyways, the TIE Bomber is the new, like, damage point right now. It's called the indirect. So indirect on it basically states that when you swing with this TIE Bomber, it deals 3 indirect damage. We choose where the indirect goes, so I think I'm going to put 2 on Cassian, 1 on my base. After that, we could ECL in, say, red 3, and then kill this off. Or we could ECL in or we could just ambush with blue leader. You know what? Just ambush with blue leader. Oh, shoot. Oh, it's unique. Oh, okay, that is completely my bad. We'll just ambush, pass. Yeah, that was my bad. I guess we could have re-triggered to go back to space, but yeah, nope, that was completely my bad. Okay, so he's going to attach, looks like a Victor Wingman Victor 3 effect. That was my bad. I totally forgot this is a unique unit. That's not a which does help there. I mean, the A-Wing on the raid there is pretty unique, but I don't think it's really worth it. So let's just deploy Luke as a pilot. And then gave it experience. So the Victor Wingman 3 is, if you can, when played as an upgrade, you can just give an experience token to a guy. We swing here, deal 3 there. I mean, we still have 3, so I'm thinking I'm going to go like, he now buffs all his guys by 1, which is hilarious. Again, we can ECL, because this is a raid. Well, it's a raid 2, it's not going to kill that anytime soon. Bring this in, pump that up. I don't think we're dead for certain. We're definitely hurting. Bash that, we'll pass. 𝐒𝐍𝐺 turn is pretty much going to win us this game. Blue leader on 𝐒𝐍𝐺's turn is going to be nasty. Yeah, because we could just go 𝐒𝐍𝐺 turn. We swing once with Luke. We deal another 3 damage, knockout, or deal 3 more damage like Victor leader or something. Overwhelming barrage on this, but unfortunately that's not enough to kill Victor leader. That is enough to kill Andor. Okay. So he decided not to kill anything. I would have at least killed something. Yeah, I mean, we were winning that game either way, folks. I mean, we had 𝐒𝐍𝐺's turn. We just 𝐒𝐍𝐺 turn, and then we win. So, I mean, there was no way he was killing Luke with it. GG to my opponent. Well, folks, that is the power of Luke. Now, again, we didn't go up against, like, the meta-relevant deck, which I think, like, right now, Luke is really meta-relevant. Very strong. I think, like, Sabine is still very much relevant. Han from Spark of Rebellion is still very much relevant because they didn't really hit anything from him. And I still feel like the new Boba Fett feels really meta-relevant right now, too, from how he's working. And, like, Thrawn's a really good control leader, too, but all of this isn't too bad. I mean, this is 54 cards, so I mean, we could cut a few things out. But again, because Luke needs to be attached to a fighter to really get off his effect, we have to play almost a whole chunk tons worth of fighters. I mean, there's other fighters we can play. We could play the original Black One. Maybe we can cut out like a couple wing leaders. I mean, since we're red, you could do Pillage to try to reduce our opponent's hand. I mean, there are things I think this deck can do. I think right now we're such in that phase where, like, we're not in a PQ series yet. So, I mean, people are still just playing around with these cards, figuring out what really works, what will win tournaments, what will win that, this and that. So, I mean, this is for not a bad for a version 1. Isn't all that bad. It's highly aggressive. It does what it needs to do. Spam a whole bunch of fighters, and then you spam Luke onto one of the fighters, and then you just start spamming that 3 points everywhere you go. and beat your opponent in. That's why I think Blue Leader is a really strong card to put on with Luke, because of the aspect that because Blue Leader goes to the ground, and unless your opponent's playing a high ground package or a way to remove ground units that is not a leader at that point, Luke attaching to Blue Leader is really strong. And then even Wing Leader buffing up Blue Leader. And then, like I said, 𝐒𝐑 turn on our turn was just deadly. Now, again, Major Vonreg isn't, I think he's like tier 2. I don't know just yet, but I feel like he's still a very good deck just because he can buff up all your stuff with a +1. But if you're going to play First Order, play Captain Phasma. Captain Phasma, I think, is way better for the First Order. But yeah, I really want to try this deck out. I'm not exactly sure which ECL version of Heroic Red I really want to play. I want to try Sabine now with all the new stuff. And I definitely am going towards Luke as well, just because I really do like this Luke leader. This is a really, really good Luke leader. As many people don't like Energy Conversion Lab, nothing you can really do about it until it rotates out. Again, we are now starting the rotation era. So cards all out of Jump to Lightspeed that have, of course, the A at the bottom will begin and then Spark of Rebellion and Shadows Galaxy and Twilight Republic all will be rotated out on the 26th. And it sounds like FFG really went back to the drawing board with the game and really ramped up, like, giving the game a longer longevity as we move into, like, this era. Because, again, there's only two more sets, like Legends of the Force, and I forget what's the 6th one is, that will be alongside, of course, Spark of the Rebellion, Shadows of the Galaxy, and Twilight Republic. Now, don't fret about all the cards you bought for those things. We do have the Legacy format that's coming out that's probably going to get supported, where you could play absolutely everything. Now that's probably going to get bans and suspended because, again, that is a Legacy format with every single card in the game. So cards that, like, for rotation B, if once the next rotation starts after A, those cards come in. Those cards will never really be played with Spark of the Rebellion cards, so they could easily break Spark of the Rebellion cards. So it'll be very interesting. Nonetheless, I really am pretty hyped to actually try out this leader and play some good games with this leader. I don't know. I think this is a pretty good starting point. I may just drop this Gorilla Pod, maybe bump the Podameron up a few. I'm not exactly sure, but again, heck, even the 𝐒𝐓𝐾𝐄, I'm not exactly just like sold on as a card. Maybe like a one of 𝐒𝐓𝐾𝐄 just for that one of period of time you could play her. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down in the comments on this Luke deck. Let me know your thoughts on the gameplay. What did I miss? What I could have done better and all of that. And let me know your thoughts on Jump to Lightspeed as a whole. What leaders are you hyped to try out? What leaders should we check out next? What all leaders should we check out? And with that, while you're commenting, do make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you can notify when my videos go live for you. And we'll see you here next time on Mod Dragons TCG.